If you work in the city, you see poverty every single day, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not. People living in poverty describe facing various forms of stigma, prejudice, and discrimination, causing them to feel socially excluded, shame, and loneliness. We go about our day with our heads down, consumed with our own lives or on our phones, not paying attention to those around us. Yet deep down, don't we all yearn for a sense of community? But how do you define community? Community is about real humans, with real lives, real stories, real hopes, and dreams. Everyone has a story.
It is the afternoon, isn't it? I set it up. Have a good day, dear.
Evelyn was married, had 2 boys. Their family moved around following her husband's career with the Hudson's Bay Company. They eventually settled in Victoria, BC.
Yeah, that's how I ended up in here. We moved to Vancouver, and then I said, you know what, I want to go to the island. I've been here for 25, 30 years.
2.5 years ago.
Fred grew up on the mainland as a father of 3 grown children and 2 grandkids.
Well, my older boy, he's in Queensborough, and he's a chef, and my daughter is a teacher's assistant. She lives in Abbotsford, and my younger son is, he works part-time at a thrift store, and the rest of the week he's busy with open mics and comedy clubs and a whole bunch of things that he does online. So.
Craig is a BC boy through and through.
You bet. I've spent majority of my life in BC, and to me it grows in the person's blood, and you just can't get away from seeing real mountains and the ocean, everything like that. BC has everything we need.
Megaphone magazine and Hope in Shadows calendar offer a sense of community for those living in poverty in Vancouver's downtown east side and Victoria. To celebrate and encourage those who are working hard to overcome life's various complicated circumstances.
How are you? Are you having a great
Now
day?
retired without her husband, who sadly passed away, Evelyn wanted to do more.
I was doing the Salvation Army kettle at Christmas time, and I happened to be sitting there, and the lady that was with the Street News newspaper, she was telling them there, and I listened to her, and I thought, you know what, I'd like something to do during the year. Something like this, you know, like the Salvation Army kettle. And I did, where you meet the public and that. And that's how it started out. It came out, I had a few words with her, and then I said, you know what, do you have an opening? She said, well, go and see John at Bay Center. I said, okay. And that's how it came out. I started on January 4th, 2010. Approximately some year like that, yeah. So I've been with him about 8, 9 years.
Fred's life turned around when he started selling magazines.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it does a number of things for you. It gives you like the paperwork says, it gives you a job opportunity. You know that you're supporting the wider community, which an aspect of it that I really like, and I think it's important. And yeah, it's Megaphone is, I don't know, there are people out there that, yeah, normally they probably wouldn't give you the time of day, but because you're doing something that besides just panning or just whiling your day away, they're glad to see that you're at least doing something, and you get complimented about that all the time.
Selling magazines keeps Craig busy.
I moved to Victoria in about 2001. Basically, it was unemployment, and I had no place to go, so I had to stay with my mom for a period of time. But eventually I got back on my feet and working again and everything until my health decided to take a different twist for me. And I'm still managing and struggling, but it's better than doing nothing.
By ignoring or avoiding these members of our community, you are missing out on the warm, caring, unique, and genuine individuals they are.
I love the people. They are just wonderful to me. And if I'm not there, they make it like a big family in Cook Street Village. We're like one big family there. and I just love it. I love the people.
It's lots of fun, and like I said, yeah, you get to meet so many wonderful people out there and have a chit chat with some of them. Some will bring you things like a lunch. They'll bring you coffee. They'll bring, especially in the cooler days. So, yeah, this is a great opportunity for anybody that wants to volunteer but doesn't necessarily want to be indoors because you enjoy the outdoors like I do. This might be a job for you. Check us out.
Gives me a reason to get out and have fun with people, enjoy people, and I have something to look forward to every day.
These vendors help supplement their income by selling magazines and calendars, which they themselves take part in creating.
Megaphone is a magazine that focuses on issues of, or I like to say, issues and stories that affirm our shared humanity. So that can cross the spectrum of stories about social justice, stories about communities, stories about people in the community doing cool things, arts and culture that are independent. It's a pretty broad range of subjects, but we take an independent view of things and look for the ways that, that stories can bring us together and find our shared humanity in there.
Each year, the vendors are given cameras to take photos for the Hope in Shadows calendar.
It was an absolute joy. So we distributed the cameras, and we had 7 people here in Victoria get cameras. They went out, shot a full roll, brought them back, we developed them, and we had some amazing photos.
The Hope in Shadows calendar launch happens in the fall, where vendors find out if one of their photos was chosen for the calendar.
I don't believe this. I had all this suspense. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All this suspense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the only one I took, and so yes, so enjoy it, and thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Getting to know each of them can be an experience that touches your heart, warms your soul, and is inspiring to all of us in some way.
If the only images we can conjure of our neighbors experiencing poverty are those of struggle, we turn one aspect of someone's life experience into their entire identity. When we only see struggle, we don't see tenderness, laughter, and love that are also there. And in doing so, we erase our neighbor's humanity. So much of what makes us human can be found in the subtleties, contradictions, and complexities we all inhabit. And when we scrape those details from a human life, we lose our ability to connect with the story of that life, and along with it, the ability to see ourselves reflected in that story. The theme of the calendar this year, Spirit and Resilience, reflects that complexity. That in every life there is joy and struggle, there is adversity, and there are the ways we try to be good to one another. Not all of us know what it's like to experience grinding poverty, to wonder if our groceries will last the month, or to pitch a tent on the side of the road. But on some level, we know what it's like to feel stuck, or lost, to feel we don't belong, maybe even to feel invisible. Our economic system divides us. It pits us against each other and makes us lonely. It breeds massive, heart-rending inequality where our neighbors sleep in tents in the shadow of million-dollar condos. The antidote to that division is connection. To find a way forward, we must notice the things that we share. We must find hope in shadows.
I'm Evelyn Barron of Cook Street Village, where I sell out of.
Okay, my name is Frederick Willington.
It's Craig Barron, and I'm a Megaphone vendor.